I made Romantic Homicide, and it was so different than everything else I had made because it was actually sad. It was slow, it was sad, it was emotional.
Yo, listen up, y'all. Things just took a dark turn after R&B artist David Straight Up confessed to a murder on camera. He openly admitted to killing 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose body was discovered in his Tesla. What's even more disturbing is that his whole crew apparently knew what went down. Let's unpack this insane story that's sending shockwaves through the entire music industry. The leaked audio of David's confession lays out disturbing details about the crime. Celeste was only 15, but David called her the only one who ever understood him. There's even video footage showing David and the late teen together before she was allegedly killed. But first, let's jump right into the most shocking evidence that's convinced nearly everyone online that David's guilt is beyond question. A never-before-heard demo titled Celeste surfaced online on September 17, 2025. The very same day authorities confirmed the identity of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's remains. This wasn't just another music leak. This was a 2-minute 47-second confession disguised as a love song, making fans believe David literally sang about the killing before it became public knowledge. The track's eerie vibe carries that signature lo-fi sound David's known for, but the lyrics are what truly terrify people. Analysts verified that both the vocals and production match David's sessions from 2023, and the file's metadata shows it was recorded in December 2023 at a private studio in Hollywood, a full 4 months before Celeste vanished. The most unsettling section of the track is the bridge, where David mentions Celeste by name and sings details that line up disturbingly well with what investigators later found at the crime scene. In the track, he sings, "Oh Celeste, the girl who inked my name across her chest, I still smell her scent like cigarette breath." Then he adds, "Her voice lingers whenever I rest, I'm obsessed." But before he can finish, the song abruptly switches to an instrumental break, like he caught himself revealing too much. The tattoo line seems to mirror Rivas' own finger tattoo that reads "Sure," a design David himself duplicated in September 2024. The lyric about smelling her on my clothes has left people horrified because that's exactly what workers at the towing lot described. A strong, decomposing odor coming from the Tesla that had been impounded for months.
According to TMZ, just last night, the office listed the victim's gender as female, a height of about 5'1" and 71 pounds. This person has wavy black hair, and she apparently has a tattoo on her right index finger that reads, "Shh." Apparently, she had been wearing a tube top, black leggings, had a metal stud earring, and a metal chain bracelet in the shape of a W. According to TMZ, though, to be more specific here, there is no definitive conclusion as to age, gender, or cause.
The track first appeared on Xbyte after being uploaded from a Dropbox link that a producer reportedly received in January 2024. Within hours, it blew up, over 700 likes almost instantly, and spread across TikTok, YouTube, and SoundCloud. By September 18th, it had amassed 1.5 million plays, circulating under the name David's Murder Ballad. But that was only the beginning. What came next were Discord messages and recorded call transcripts that painted a far darker picture, one of cover-ups and manipulation. Around 8 to 10 screenshots from David's private fan Discord server, known as David's Pedals, leaked online. These messages, allegedly dated from March to August 2024, appear to show David discussing how to hide Celeste's body and bragging about silencing her forever. The most incriminating screenshot comes from April 10, 2024, just days after Celeste's disappearance. In it, David reportedly wrote in a private chat, "Celeste lost it last night." David allegedly followed up that disturbing message with, "Had to make her stop for good. Wrapped her tight in the frunk. Amazon bags. Left it in the hills. No tickets yet." Someone in the chat reportedly warned him, "Bro, that body stuff is risky as hell," but David replied, "Tor alibi covers it. Send $1,000 each to stay quiet. She's gone silent forever, like the song." That wrapped her tight in the front line horrified investigators because it matched how Celeste's remains were discovered, cut up, stuffed in a black duffel, and sealed with plastic wrap inside the Tesla's front compartment. The quiet forever phrase seemed like David boasting about the killing, eerily mirroring his earlier hit Romantic Homicide. Even worse, leaked call transcript surfaced suggesting he directly coordinated the cleanup. In one 28-minute call from April 11, 2024, David allegedly said, "Celeste kept threatening me. Had to shut it down fast. Strangled her in the car. Packed her tight. Smells already. Drop the Tesla off tomorrow in the hills. Keys under the mat." He allegedly added, "Tow yard takes it from there. Body goes quiet." That strangulation detail caught detectives' attention since the autopsy hasn't been finalized but points toward asphyxiation as a cause. His plan to ditch the Tesla in the Hollywood Hills matches reality perfectly. The vehicle was later towed for unpaid tickets and discovered during impound. Yet David didn't stop his cryptic boasting. In a July 15, 2024 transcript, he reportedly laughed, "Oh, she's gone for good. Trunk tomb. No clues. Brag in the music. Fans won't get it. Paid y'all to forget. My greatest plot twist." The trunk tomb and brag in the music lines point to someone reveling in his actions rather than hiding them. Evidence also suggests he paid off those in the know. $8,000 in hush money sent through Venmo and Cash App with messages like, "For that Celeste thing, keep quiet. If cops asked, you never met her." Made it look like she ran off. David's representatives have since denied all accusations, claiming the leaks are heavily doctored to ruin his name, though the Lapt hasn't ruled them out.
Authorities are treating this as a death investigation. A spokesperson for the singer, whose real name, by the way, is David Anthony Burke, said in a statement to NBC News that he, quote, has been informed about what's happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with the authorities. Now, we're going to talk about potential legal consequences here, but I have to say the singer may already be feeling the economic consequence.
The real problem for David is that too many details from these leaks align perfectly with the official evidence, from the timeline and location to the method of concealment and body wrapping. Everything lines up. What's most twisted is that David allegedly believed he could outsmart investigators by using his tour schedule as a built-in alibi. He was performing in other cities when the car was discovered, thinking it would clear him. But the leaks suggest it was all meticulously planned months earlier, leaving the body to decompose while he toured, far from suspicion. The smugness of allegedly bragging online and immortalizing it in a track shows a man who believed his fame made him untouchable. Once the evidence dropped, the internet went nuclear. Hashtags like #D4vleaks and #JusticeForCeleste exploded, gathering 1.2 billion views across X and TikTok by September 18, 2025. Public outrage was fierce and immediate. Fans who once idolized him now felt utterly deceived. One user, at Craving Not Crush, vented, "I really believed he was innocent. Seeing this new evidence makes me sick. I pray her family gets justice. David is a monster." That raw anger was echoed in thousands of replies. Another user, at Laser, laid out a full timeline, convincing many that David had been grooming Celeste online, abducting her at 13, and eventually killing her at 15. The most haunting part? He'd been writing songs about the murder, detailing how he'd left her in the car's trunk, and when police found her, that's exactly where she was. He really did that, and then bragged about it. The eerie overlap between his lyrics and the real-life discovery of Celeste's body is what convinced so many people he was guilty. The public's reaction was heartbreaking, especially from longtime fans who felt betrayed. One user, at Savinal, summed it up perfectly, "I don't know if David's a murderer, but he's definitely predatory. He met her when she was 12, started dating her at 13 while he was 17. Now he's 20, and his 14-year-old victim has been found dead." The leaked song is vile, RIP Celeste Rivas. The combination of grooming accusations and murder claims triggered a massive wave of outrage online. A viral TikTok even alleged that Discord logs proved David had been messaging Celeste at age 12. Still, not everyone jumped to conclusions. Some die-hard fans tried to defend him, though their arguments were quickly drowned out by the outrage. One user, at Caesar Louvenoy, attempted to calm the chaos. "Please shut up for a second. Nothing's confirmed yet," he wrote. "Before spreading rumors, check facts. If the worst happens and he's guilty, I'll delete this account. I don't support any of that." Skeptics clung to David's tour alibi, questioning the validity of the leaks. User at TytherCreator_R pointed out, "From what I've read, he was touring non-stop. It sounds like a setup or maybe a frame job." That idea became the backbone of the framing theory that some fans still hold on to. Despite the controversy, David's music metrics shifted in strange ways. Streams for Romantic Homicide initially plummeted 40%, as boycott spread, then skyrocketed 300% as people began dissecting lyrics for hidden messages. The bizarre murder bump effect proved that even the darkest scandals can perversely boost engagement, turning tragedy into viral fascination. The leaked Celeste track spiraled into one of the most disturbing viral moments in internet history. TikTok edits syncing the lyrics with news clips of the Tesla crime scene amassed over 50 million views. The bridge, where David croons about wrapping her tight, became especially chilling once people realized Celeste's body had been found the same way. Meanwhile, David himself stayed completely silent. His last post on X was on September 10th, just a routine tour promo, and since then, he's gone dark. Instead, his management team has been handling all communication through controlled media statements. TMZ later reported that Celeste's mother had spoken to them via Tipster, adding another layer of heartbreak to the story.
He got in touch with Celeste's mother, and the mother told us, because what the police had come out with was that the girl had a tattoo on her right index finger that said S.
Even before they could find out her name, they obviously had the body parts and they released some information.
And it was on her index finger. It said SHHH with 3 dots or 4 dots, and that's all we knew. The mother told us that My daughter had a tattoo on her right index finger that said the same thing. And that the tattoo, she told us, in fact, Anakin, she only spoke Spanish, so Anakin spoke to her.
NBC News received a slightly longer statement from David's representatives. "We are devastated by this tragedy. Any similarities between art and real events are purely coincidental. Our hearts go out to Celeste's family." The phrase coincidental art struck many as tone deaf, especially given the disturbing level of detail matching the leaks. But David's actions spoke louder than any PR line. He cancelled his Seattle shows on September 17th and 18th, and postponed San Francisco dates, citing personal reasons. For a star who built his career on fan connection and emotional transparency, his sudden silence feels deafening. Out of this chaos, 3 major theories have taken hold online, each fiercely defended by its followers. The first, and by far most dominant, claims David is guilty of premeditated murder, a view shared by roughly 70% of users according to excess sentiment tracking. They cite the lyrical evidence, the matching tattoos, and the timeline placing him in LA when Celeste disappeared. The second, held by about 20%, insists David was framed, possibly by industry rivals or obsessive fans determined to destroy his career. Supporters of David's innocence point out logistical flaws in the accusations, mainly that he was on tour when many of the alleged events took place. They also question the validity of the leaks, noting that most lack official watermarks, timestamps, or third-party verification. Defenders argue that the Cher tattoo is a common design, not exclusive to Celeste, and that AI deepfake tools could easily manipulate both audio and text evidence to make David look guilty. Meanwhile, a third theory, representing about 10% of online debate, claims the killing was accidental, the result of a heated argument gone wrong. This version accepts the grooming allegations but suggests David panicked after a fight escalated and then covered it up rather than committing premeditated murder. Several Reddit threads reference leaked messages hinting that Celeste flipped out right before the fatal incident. The case has inevitably drawn parallels to other celebrity scandals, especially those involving underage victims and abuse of power. Many posts compare David to R. Kelly, arguing that fame often shields artists from accountability and that the music industry still turns a blind eye to exploitative behavior when money is involved. The leaks have triggered a social media feeding frenzy unlike anything in recent memory, and there's no sign of it slowing down. Whether the evidence is real or fabricated, David's reputation and career have already been obliterated in the court of public opinion. The only question left is whether law enforcement can back up the viral accusations with legitimate proof. What makes this all so tragic is how sharply it contrasts with David's once inspiring success story. David Anthony Burke, professionally known as David, was living the dream until September 2025 turned it into a nightmare. Born March 28, 2005, in Queens, New York, and raised in Houston, Texas, this 20-year-old R&B prodigy built his empire from a makeshift studio in his sister's closet. His rise, from a self-taught bedroom producer to a Billboard chart topper, symbolized everything right about digital age creativity. But the Celeste Rivas scandal now highlights everything wrong with unchecked fame, blurred boundaries, and celebrity access to impressionable young fans. David's journey began humbly in that Houston closet, recording lo-fi instrumentals to sidestep copyright strikes on his Fortnite montage videos. Teaching himself FL Studio, he began posting original tracks to SoundCloud in late 2021, blending indie, rap, and R&B into something raw and emotional that instantly connected with Gen Z listeners craving authenticity. His big break came in July 2022 with Romantic Homicide, a haunting song that went viral on TikTok and changed his life overnight. The single peaked at number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100 and surpassed 1 billion Spotify streams. Lyrics like "I don't love you, but I still act like I do. I didn't mean to make you cry. I just wanted to see you bleed" once seemed like poetic angst, but now, fans are re-examining them as potential red flags. What once read as teenage heartbreak now feels like a disturbing glimpse into a darker obsession. By 2024, David had achieved mainstream stardom, contributing the track Feel It to Amazon's Invincible soundtrack, performing at Coachella, and finally releasing his debut album Withered in April 2025, which debuted at number 1 on Billboard 200. He had sold-out tours, major label deals, and a devoted online following, everything a young artist could dream of. But behind the fame, a far more disturbing story was allegedly unfolding. The connection between David and Celeste Rivas traces back to the digital spaces where modern predators often find victims. Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a 15-year-old aspiring TikTok creator from Lake Elsinore, California, was described as bright, creative, and hopeful. She was 5 feet 2 inches, with wavy black hair, and had started messaging David in 2022 when she was just 12, and he was 17. Leaked Discord screenshots from his fan community, David's Pedals, show interactions beginning in late 2022 between usernames like Celestix13 and David Homicide. Their chat logs suggest a relationship that grew progressively more personal, resembling a textbook grooming dynamic, emotional manipulation disguised as mentorship. Charm, secrecy, false promises, and gradual isolation. A February 2023 message allegedly shows David texting, "Hey cutie, saw your TikTok. You've got that energy I write about. What's your age?" When Celeste replies, 12 or L, he responds, "Age doesn't matter in art. Let's collab. Keep it between us." By June 2023, he allegedly offered to fly her to LA when she turned 13, sending Venmo payments labeled Art Inspo to her friends in exchange for silence. Their alleged relationship deepened throughout 2023 and into 2024. By early 2024, when Celeste was 14 and David 19, fans in his private server speculated they were romantically involved, with David allegedly writing in March 2024, "She's my muse. Keep it low-key. Age vibes. Sure. Secret." Matching tattoos became proof of their connection. Both had small shirt tattoos, hers on her right index finger, visible in a 2023 TikTok. David's was inked in September 2024, months after Celeste's disappearance.
She said that she had a boyfriend.
That's right, that she had a boyfriend and his name was David. And the mother never really got in contact with David, like she never saw him.
She didn't know who the David was.
She had heard of him. And it seemed like the last time that she had seen her daughter was when she had gone out with.
Everything unraveled on April 5, 2024. Celeste was last seen heading to meet her brother Matthew for a movie in Lake Elsinore but never arrived. Her phone went dark after a Snapchat at 7:42 p.m. mentioning she was heading to LA for a cool opportunity. Friends recalled her excitement about meeting a famous artist, with Discord logs allegedly showing David planning the meetup that week. What followed, according to leaked audio and messages, was a violent argument that ended in Celeste's death. The nightmare came full circle on September 8, 2025, when workers at Hollywood Tow and Auto Storage noticed a foul smell from David's abandoned black Tesla Model 3, impounded after sitting for over a month. In the front trunk, they found a black duffel bag containing Celeste's decomposed, dismembered body wrapped in plastic. The remains wore a black tube top, leggings, a yellow bracelet, and stud earrings, the exact outfit Celeste had on the night she vanished. The dismemberment implied an effort to make her body fit the confined space, suggesting a degree of planning and chilling detachment. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner ruled it a homicide on September 17, with the cause pending toxicology due to decomposition. The timeline places her death around her April disappearance, meaning her body remained undiscovered for 5 months in the abandoned vehicle. The revelation obliterated David's career and public image. Streams briefly spiked 300% from morbid fascination before collapsing amid mass boycotts. Major sponsors have cut ties, and his fading world tour faces mass cancellations as venues reject any association. David's representatives insist on his innocence, claiming he's cooperating with authorities and that his artistic expression was distorted into false narratives. Yet public opinion has already condemned him, and the leaked evidence circulates online like a permanent stain. As of September 18, 2025, David remains uncharged but is still a key person of interest in the ongoing homicide case. Investigators are examining DNA traces, phone logs, and Tesla GPS data. While the world demands justice for Celeste Rivas, whether the confessions are genuine or fabricated, one fact is clear: they've destroyed a career and exposed how easily fame can be weaponized against impressionable young fans. That's all for now, fam. For more stories and raw updates like this, tap the card showing on your screen.